In a game of rock, paper, scissors, the Scrollmaster always chooses paper.
Dun 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 dun. B-sides.
Hello, and welcome to Pathfinder B-Sides. I am your host, Professor Phoenix. Today we're going to be going over the Scrollmaster archetype for the Wizard class, guys. So to start, let's do what we normally do and go into the flavor text. So, to some wizards, a scroll is not just written form of a spell. It is a physical weapon meant to be used in combat like a sword or a shield. These strange wizards enter battle armed with scrolls, often one in each hand, practicing combat techniques resembling some monk martial arts. Sounds pretty cool. Let's dive in. So to start, the Scrollmaster is going to get Scroll Blade, which is a supernatural ability. A Scrollmaster can wield any paper, parchment, or cloth scroll as if it were a melee weapon. In the hands of the wizard, the scroll acts as a short sword with an enhancement bonus equal to half the level of the highest level wizard spell on the scroll. A scroll with only a cantrip or a first level spell on it counts as a masterwork short sword. The Scrollmaster is proficient in this weapon, and feats and abilities that affect short swords, such as weapon focus, apply to this weapon. A Scrollmaster cannot wield two scroll blades at the same time. Activating this ability is a free action. A scroll blade only retains its abilities in the hands of the Scrollmaster. The scroll blade has hardness 0 and hit points equal to the highest level wizard spell on the scroll. Each successful hit by the scroll blade reduces its hit points by 1. This damage cannot be repaired, but does not affect casting from the scroll. When its hit points reach 0, the scroll is destroyed. If a scroll contains a spell with a metamagic feat, this ability uses the original spell level of the spell. A scroll with Empowered Fireball counts as a 3rd level spell. Good to know. At 3rd level, when using a 4th level or higher wizard scroll as a scroll blade, the Scrollmaster can choose to reduce its enhancement bonus by 1, minimum +1 enhancement bonus, to treat it as if it were a reach weapon. For example, he could use a Scroll of Charm Monster, a 4th level wizard spell, as either a +2 short sword or a +1 short sword with reach. At 5th level, when using a 4th level or higher wizard scroll as a scroll blade, the Scrollmaster can choose to reduce its enhancement bonus to a minimum of +1 enhancement bonus to give any of the following weapon properties: Defending, Frost, Icy Burst, Keen, Key Focus, Shock, Shocking Burst, and Speed. Adding any of these properties consumes an amount of enhancement bonus equal to the property's cost. The Scrollmaster must know the prerequisite spell or spells to craft the weapon property in question. For example, he must know haste in order to be able to give his scroll blade the speed property. This ability replaces the wizard's arcane bond. So before you pick this, decide that moment. Would you prefer to have a familiar or a bonded item like your family heirloom ring? Or is this going to be something that you have bonded to yourself because maybe your family has been very strict and very regimented in the ability to do this weird thing where they use their scrolls as weapons? Like maybe their coat of arms is actually just like, you know, a piece of paper with like fire blazoned around it. Or, I mean, it could go in a lot of different directions. I can see tons of roleplay potential, like, how dare you? You dare attack my family. I shall beat you with this. And you pull out like a piece of paper and they're like, what are this chump? Get out of here. I mean, that's my take on it. I like it. I like the flavor. It's really good. Next up, we've got Scroll Shield, which is also a supernatural ability. A Scrollmaster can wield any paper, parchment, or cloth scroll as if it were a light wooden shield. In the hands of the wizard, The scroll grants a +1 shield bonus with an enhancement bonus equal to half the level of the highest level wizard spell on the scroll. A scroll with only a cantrip or first level spell counts as Masterwork Light Shield Sword. The scroll shield has no armor check penalty, arcane spell failure chance, or maximum dexterity bonus. The Scrollmaster is considered proficient in this shield. A Scrollmaster can use a scroll blade in one hand and a scroll shield in the other hand. Activating this ability is a free action. A scroll shield only retains its abilities in the hands of the Scrollmaster. The scroll shield has hardness 0 and hit points equal to the highest level wizard spell on the scroll. Each successful attack roll against the wizard reduces the scroll's shield hit points by 1. This damage cannot be repaired, but does not affect casting from the scroll. When its hit points reach 0, the scroll is destroyed. At 5th level, when using a 3rd level or higher wizard scroll as a scroll shield, the Scrollmaster can choose to reduce its enhancement bonus to a minimum of a +1 enhancement bonus to give it any of the following shield properties: Ghost Touch, Light Fortification, Moderate Fortification. Adding any of these properties consumes an amount of bonus equal to the property's cost. The Scrollmaster must know the prerequisite spell or spells to craft the shield property in question. For example, he must know Limited Wish to be able to give his scroll shield the fortification property. That seems a little tight, but we'll keep it going. If a scroll contains a spell with a meta magic feat, this ability uses the original spell level of the spell. So a scroll of empowered fireball counts as a 3rd level spell. All right. Kind of annoys me that they decided to use the exact same spell and meta magic as they did in the first section. Because, that's just laziness, but also I guess that's to drive home the point. So suddenly your party is accosted by bandits while in a safe zone. You can't see my fingers, but I'm doing the whole air quotes thing. And you're not supposed to have any weapons out or anything. You're just like, I'm just an old man with a staff. And they're like, no, Gandalf, give me the staff. You ain't coming in here. All right, cool. So they prepared for the staff. But did they prepare for the 2 scrolls you have on your hips? It's just a piece of paper, you can say. How bad is a paper cut gonna do anybody? And then suddenly these bandits pop out and like, oh, give us all your monies, and you're like, haha, no. And then you just like pull out your 2, your 2 scrolls and like bang them together, and suddenly, pow, you've got a short sword with reach that is doing some sweet, sweet frost and icy burst, and then your shield that is just like, guy, what are you paper macheing over there? Like, what are you doing? That's all I'm gonna say about this. This is really sweet, and I love this. It looks like that doesn't actually take anything away from your ability to do stuff. Like maybe that's just part of your arcane bond, but suddenly you're able to do uh, magical origami, man. It's pretty awesome. So the last part of this is going to be improved scroll casting, which is another supernatural ability. At 10th level, the Scrollmaster can cast a wizard spell from a scroll and use his own intelligence score and relevant feats to set the DC for the spell, and can use his own caster level if it is higher than that of the scroll, similar to a caster using a staff. The Scrollmaster must have already deciphered the writing on the scroll to use this ability, and this ability replaces the 10th level wizard bonus feat. So let's use their fireball as an example again, all right? So your standard fireball scroll, right? Fireball is a 3rd level wizard spell, so the DC would be 10 plus the spell level, which is 13, plus the base intelligence modifier. This is the lowest you can go whenever you're creating a scroll or casting a spell, which in this case would be 13, so it would be another +1. So that would be a reflex save of 14. That's 10 plus your intelligence modifier plus the spell level. Now, let's see how that compares to you, the Scrollmaster, and actually, casting from a scroll. Fireball is still a third level spell. Your intelligence should be anywhere between 18 and 22 by, you know, by 10th level. So that's going to be a plus 4 to 6. And then you should also possibly have improved spell focus, possibly in whatever spell for the scroll you're trying to do, which is another plus 1. Let's say this is the fireball scroll that we're still using. That DC should be somewhere between 18 and 22. And also, it now does 10d6 points of damage. And here's the kicker, you can make this scroll. Yeah, you can. You can make all of these scrolls at the lowest level possible, saving you tons of gold and time, and just you're no longer like, hey guys, can we stay in town for like 3 weeks? I've got a couple scrolls I need to make. I know I can only apply like 1,000 worth of gold towards the scroll or whatever I'm crafting at night, and this one's a bit, it's kind of expensive. So, like, can we stay in town for 2 weeks? Don't worry, that chalice will totally still be there. You don't have to do that anymore. Now you can just be like, hey guys, so like I need to whoop the wop and like get it all together, and then let's go crash a building. So that's my take on improved scroll casting. Let's finish this up. I really enjoyed the Scrollmaster. This is really good flavor for maybe you have a wizard, right? And your wizard is very, I don't like weapons. I don't want to touch weapons. They're gross. They're icky. They have blood on them. This is not my deal. Save that for the fighter and the rogue, who are pretty okay with having blood on their hands, and it makes you a little bit more versatile than you already are as a wizard. Suddenly, if you're in a tight spot and you don't have the ability to make your concentration checks, or to cast defensively because you're in the middle of, I'm gonna go with, you're in the middle of the tumbleweeds. Yeah, yeah, I like that. You're in the middle of the tumbleweeds, and you're just trying to be awesome, and you're like, I can't be awesome with all these goblins at my feet. So suddenly you just like, cacao, cacao. Suddenly you have a shield, you have a sword, and you're getting your McStab on. So I like it. It's a good flavor. Um, I would play this on my own, but I feel like I wouldn't do it justice. Um, but I would absolutely use it for some of my NPCs if I was running a game, or suddenly there's like a whole sect of the Mages Guild that's been exiled because they're okay with using their fists, and they're cool with using their swords and stuff, but still having like access to stupid magic. So yes, I could see this being useful. Anyways, guys, I've got a couple of announcements to make. First and foremost, I've got a Patreon. Yeah, that's a real thing. I already have one wonderful donator, and I'm going to do a shout out to Mr. Matty Bombalatti. You're the bomb. Thank you for donating. Uh, if you would like to take a look at the Patreon, there's a link in the description. Go take a look. Also, this archetype was actually like it was suggested by one of our members on the Discord. I'm looking at you, AAA1E2R3. Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to spell out, but that's pretty consistent. I love it. Anyways, guys, this has been the video on the Scrollmaster. Come hit me up. Let's Discord. Let's argue. Let's just get in there. Uh, anyways, thank you and keep gaming, y'all.
I don't have a catch line or catchphrase to play me out of the video, so I'm just gonna sing and sing until you guys just click off. Don't forget the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm just gonna thank you for watching the video.